green, blue, sort of in between. Who you thinking takes this map right here, Tom?
I am never going to count Fnatic out. I think that was a phenomenal performance from G2. I think Mixwell played a huge part. And obviously, if he keeps that level up, then sure, they can definitely do it. But let's not pretend like this is a bad map for Fnatic either. Like, we have a similar stat that they've only really lost it, I think, since April to Sentinels. So I'm sticking with Fnatic for now. But you know what? Honestly, I don't even mind. With games like that, who cares?
It's all about good Valorant, isn't it, at the end of the day? And we've got some good Valorant for you here. A Phoenix out on the side of Fnatic is always exciting to me. I like seeing those run it backs, especially in a map like Haven. I really, really like Phoenix here. Let's see how things are going to be wrapping up, because they're on the defender side now. Obviously, G2's map pick with a 1-map advantage. And a minute left here in the pistol. In the pistol round. It doesn't look like G2 want a full commit just yet. They're still spread out in a default, waiting for one of the Fnatic players to push forward. And I think Mixwell, has spotted Phoenix in the corner.
He definitely seems to have a decent idea. In fact, even just seen a Paranoia fly past. Durka going to take the initial engagement, leaving Doma to try and fight back. But it's very calm and collected again. Just trading efficiently. Already utility just being spammed onto the site, trying to get as much as they can to block off this push from G2. And you know what? Magnum, he's going ham. He's found 3 kills. Just quickly closing this as Mystic comes along to find one more. It's gonna be the round going the way of Fnatic. I was looking at the one in the top right corner. It threw me off. No, Mitch, can you restart your Discord thing? Because it's doing that weird sound bug again.
All right. Okay. Gotcha. Let me open that for you. Online production be what it is. There you go.
Yeah.
All good for you now, Tom? Hopefully. Let me know anyways if it isn't.
Yeah. I won't be able to tell until there's a loud sound.
All right. No worries. But yeah, a big switch around there in round number 1. Kind of flips on its head pretty quickly. G2 now on the back foot, having to take a pretty weak buy out of this one. And Fnatic, well, they're going to just look to survive with as many weapons as they possibly can. There's a couple upgraded weapons with some classics sprinkled throughout for G2, which realistically means that Fnatic should be getting away with 4 players alive.
Yeah, I almost like, of course there is investment here, so I don't just want to talk over this round, but I am just looking at the composition that has come out for Fnatic, and there are some pretty drastic changes from what we've seen before. Firstly, a Phoenix being brought up is not something that I was necessarily expecting, especially with how good Doma's Sage normally is on this map. That's definitely a surprise. We've seen them switch over to a Cypher, which I think can kind of be expected maybe preemptively with a lot of the new changes that has come in, or just like the Jet change that happened as well. That could be a possibility. And also the Sova being added back in, something they did previously as well.
Yeah, a lot of mix and matching. As I said, the Phoenix is something I'm a big fan of, seeing when it comes to Haven. The rest of the changes, I'll hold my breath on that. I still like Sky a lot more than I like Sova, but we'll see how it rocks. For now, oh, that's a risky peek by Magnum, and although the rest of the kills seem to be going their way, damage is done here for G2. If they can get one more kill out of it, it would have been a nice round, but they don't. And as Durka only had, I think, a ghost coming into that round, he should be able to pick up a weapon. I guess he already has one.
Something else as well is that looking, I'm using VLR for this because I was thinking about it. I was like, have I ever seen Mystic play Sova?
Oh.
And according to VLR, the answer to that question is no.
That kind of makes sense, actually. Yeah. It's a curious one, and I do wonder when they're pulling this out, what are they directly trying to work against it? Because I don't think that, and maybe it is just a change from them, something that they like on this map, but I'd imagine they're looking at G2, maybe seeing that Killjoy and thinking, hey, a couple of those shock darts, having the 100 Fury could be pivotal. That's a really harsh one. The key thing here is that you have an operator invested into for Durka. In a round like this, it doesn't have the same context of being a bonus, because sure, he can take Bladestorm in next round more than likely, but when you buy that operator, it's more important to not give it to your opponent. That's more so what you're looking for. So you want to win this one. Durka is pushed all the way down on C. So they've gotten value for that weapon, but with the rest of them having weaker weapons in the form of Spectres, they're on the A side grouped up. They're trying to use numbers to their advantage, but with G2's very slow play and fake heavy presence that they've had on Bind and carried through to Haven already in the early stages, this is going to be really tough for Fnatic to actually get value out of, especially with Magnum spotting them still outside of A. If they decide to go where they seem to be towards B and C, then, well, this operator's going to be in a lot of trouble. Oh, but they're gravitating back into A.
I've got your trail.
Well, it's been spotted, that's for sure. We're going to see the Seekers once again thrown out. This time, Coldamenta manning that agent. Magnum in the corner, but he's left so unbelievably blind. The execution clearing most, if not all now, of the defenders. And while Durka, he just has to hold on to this, because you mentioned, like, okay, potential for the Bladestorm. It has to be added as well that is one of the ultimates that has become more expensive. Like, it's a lot... Well, it's a lot more inaccessible for a lot of these players, especially in the amount of rounds that you have to try and farm up these kills. So he's only got 2 orbs. So he's definitely not having it in the next round unless he's going to kill everyone else.
Yeah, I was blind calling the Bladestorm, presuming that with ult orbs, kills, that sort of stuff, that obviously I haven't been keeping track of every single player and where the kills are at. So I was just guessing that he was close with that operator buy. But yeah, as you pointed out, he isn't. So saving this is essential, first of all, but also very risky buying it in the first place. If you lose it, your bonus round leaves one of your teammates with no weapon to play with, essentially. Pretty ludicrous stuff, but hey, they do save the operator through, so it doesn't end up costing them anything. And this is where the full buy comes in for Fnatic. G2, they win the previous round, they get it done. It's not that... It's expected, right? But this is where they have to also win if they want to be bouncing back. Because Fnatic, they get the weapons in hand, and things start to get a little bit scary.
Yeah, I want to add a small side note as well, that while this has been going on, Ascend has already finished their series versus BDS. 13-5, 13-5. Dominant.
Ascend beat BDS, I presume.
Yep. Yeah, smashed them.
Wow.
Oh my god! Stop facing Nuki there! Stop facing him there!
Coldamenta about to put through the little tiger, and it already baits Magnum out of the open. He was peeking to see what was going on. Doma domed through the door. The 4 versus 2 remains. G2, they've got some pretty impressive control right off the bat. Coldamenta's flash covers the crossover, and that's not the ideal time to take the astral form. Mystics all alone. His one shock dart sold the other so he could buy this Phantom. And well, he's being spotted as well, so the information there to play with for G2. Although he baits them out into at least being able to take that back fight, they're too quick to swing. This is suboptimal, you would say. That round didn't quite go according to plan.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of players getting caught out. It seems like the aggression as well that Fnatic are attempting, it just isn't working. Like Nuki now, like all he's really doing is just setting up shop outside of A, watching into the sewers, and that's 2 free kills 2 rounds in a row. Like it's been almost too easy for them thus far. Again, I think that the calling and switch ups that they've been playing in a lot of these rounds again has looked phenomenal. Well, we're waiting for a response. Already, they're gonna know that there's at least somebody outside long, but the problem is with the pistols, Mitch, well, unless you're going to be hitting some pretty impressive shots with the Sheriff, you're probably not winning that battle.
I think you've just challenged Fnatic now, Tom. The G2 fans might be mad with you in a second. There's the first for Durka. He's known to be down below, but ready for the jump. 2 on the board, but only 2 players remaining for Fnatic right after Avova's heroic stand. Boaster's on side, I noticed, creeping into the corner. The backside going to be cleared out, and Boaster now remains undetected. The smoke actually covering him. He's able to take himself almost a double. One more bullet in the magazine, and Kellogg's was in a lot of danger. And he still is. With low HP and Mystic having a Vandal, this can definitely go towards Fnatic. Even the drone to play with just to clear out this smoke in the close corner.
He's got... Oh.
Did he tag him? No, he didn't. He spotted both, though. And there's the second. He's got the tag. Now, shock dart to come in. doesn't actually pop the Hunter's Fury, surprisingly, but obviously doesn't know just how low he is, I guess.
Scanning ahead.
Looking like an opportunity for a free kill, but instead just trying to almost find these picks of over, looking to try and bait him out with the pistol. It's going to be the peak. The first goes his way. The swing was a little bit risky. Well, not risky, but rusty, I guess. It didn't quite connect instantly, but Avova, he gets the job done. I believed for a moment in Mystic. G2 still managed to convert the round, but again, you have to say what they had in that round. It was just pistols. So the fact that that comes so close is still a phenomenal round for Fnatic.
Yeah, it should never have been that close at the end of the day. Also, one quick note, the Hunter's Fury being popped or not being popped kind of makes sense when you look at the fact that it was a jet as well. You throw that out, your ultimate just gone in the 1v2. It's a risk that he didn't want to take, and I presume there's some greater plan for it here on the Fnatic side. You take a look at this defense on how it's set up. Not playing on the B side at all, pretty much just spotting it from the C connector, and the C side just covered in traps for a dash to come in and space to be seized. But G2, they're not ones to run in blind. These guys have had some of the slowest attacking sides that I've seen, and again, very different look to this squad than what we'd seen before in any of the previous roster iterations. Maturka finding the opening though. Fnatic have taken the lead, and it's time for G2 to play from behind for what feels like the first time. It only gets worse.
Wow, that's a Durka peak. That's what we like to see. Already managing to find an important kill, and we've seen the Seeker's expended bolster. He's been caught quite a few times. The utility in hand. Mixor seems to punish him every single time. Now the Hunter's Fury goes out, trying to hunt down Nuki, who will pop his heals. The res even coming through to turn this back into a 4v4. What was looking strong might turn back, but Durka is attempting to do all this all on his own. Doma's ult is killed off, and still an opportunity for G2.
Another kill for Durka, putting 4 on the board. Avova in with a big kill. That nano
missed.
It doesn't matter that it's missed because Mixwell swings on it, and as the Killjoy ult pops, Mystic is alone. A miracle round from G2. Avova going huge to put them back in a spot where they can win it and put 4 on the board. After Durka's valiant attempt, finding every kill along the way, they won't get the round.
Wonder how many times there's been, even just in the history of this roster, where Durka's got 4 kills in a round and they haven't won it. Like, that has got to be infuriating. Doing so much with the operator, and now the problem is that going into the future rounds, okay, sure, it's definitely not as expensive as it used to be, but it's not a cheap gun. So bringing it back in is not necessarily going to be easy. Now, I'm looking at the investments coming in from Fnatic, and you might think, okay, they're actually putting a fair amount into this one. I think we might be seeing a Blade Storm, Mitch.
It's kind of looking that way, isn't it? Kellogg's, double Blade Storm battle, but Durka uncharacteristically misses the right click. That's a big advantage for G2. Fnatic not having a lot to play with here. Mystic on the saved weapon, only good for 1. And this is another G2 round, putting it 5-2, unless there's a miracle up either Doma or Magnum's sleeve.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay, we got there. It's fine. Just forget the first 6 shots. It's only the last one that matters. And Doma, well, Doma does it in 1, of course. He's just showing off. He doesn't need too many bullets. It doesn't matter, though, because Avova's there again. I feel like he's almost just like the silent hero of a lot of these rounds. Like getting himself multi-frags, cleaning things up to make sure that it works out for this squad. I'll say I'm a little bit disappointed we haven't seen his Astra yet, because it is just horrifying. I still remember sitting in some of those tests the first day that Astra was released, I think I got knifed in the first round playing against Astra because that man was on the other side, and he is mean.
He's pretty good. Yeah, he's all right. On the subject, hold on, no, this is going to be a peak very early on. Durka going back out and taking Mixwell dashing out of there, and that's the man advantage. Now Durka with this operator, he's already, that was a hit. Very low HP. The shock dart not going to yield any results as Kellogg's goes back for a heal. Heaven TP. It's actually brought to completion. Evolva's up here. this kind of forces them off the site. The paranoia and the flashes that they have on Sky put them in a very awkward spot. Mystic's down. Kellogg's, well, he didn't want to be down, but he is. Couldn't quite make it all the way up. And you know what, Durka,
Excuse me.
it would go in the highlight reel if it landed, but not this time around, sadly. G2 have a man disadvantage on this retake. So despite the fact that it's been kind of a... It seemed like a powerful start. They're on the back foot.
That wall leaving just a slight gap could be everything. Never mind, Codamenta just gets wall banged by Durka. No heroics this time, and Fnatic, they'll stick the retake this time around. Potentially looking to try and retrieve some extra weaponry. They are going to make sure that that operator will be continuing into the next round, and even going to farm up an extra ultimate orb as well to make sure Doma can have that run it back as soon as humanly possible.
Doma's been having a pretty rough time so far on the Phoenix, actually. Yeah, when you've got him in play, you got to be seeing a lot of value, really. The upside of having a Phoenix who's dominating is even greater than a Reyna, because I guess Reyna provides no value to the rest of the team a lot of the time. But for Phoenix, having to run it back and being able to have a sixth man who just entries onto site is unbelievably valuable. Also, shout out, you just saw Nuke. Did you see the glitch? It's been there since day one of beta, where for some reason there's like a texture thing when you swap to a player who, as they're taking out a slow orb. It's a little thing, but gives me nostalgia.
You're all about the little things, aren't you, Mitch? Moving on.
Wow.
Durka looking to try and take a little bit of aggression. This has not been where they've been too successful so far when it comes to A-site plays. And for two, they're going for the same execution. This is something they've attempted a multitude of times now. Doma straight back in. Does he realize that Kellogg's has already crossed? I think he has. Just opts to back out into the dark cover and not take too many risks here. Awaits for Boaster's support.
Oh, here we go. That's one way to go about it. Cosmic Divide comes into play. Kellogg's tries to gain some ground, but he can't, and they're just waiting. Come on in, trickle in. The flash is in play. Doma out through it. Great work from him in this round. A shadow step up above is being spotted, and it doesn't actually get it. Him taken down. I don't know how, but it's Mystic in a 1v2. He's run onto side, taken one, and almost the second. But Nuke closes 6 on the board for G2. They are stepping ever closer to putting Fnatic in the lower bracket. They have a 1-map lead, and now double the rounds of Fnatic facing into what I wouldn't want to call a full buy over on that defensive side. They're a little bit shaky in terms of money.
Did you see the Avova clip the other day where he just teleports into the site and kills both people? I feel like he's the only player at the moment with the balls to make plays like that.
I can't believe
and now he's
he did
even
that.
doing it versus Fnatic. He's done that twice over the last couple of days. Like, last time it was in a 1v2 and he won it. Like, the man is taking liberties. He is disrespecting the opponents that he has. And I think he's doing it with a cheeky smile as well.
Again, I just can't believe he did that. I watched it happen. I was physically aware of what was happening, but mentally it didn't process. And the fact that he gets the kill, absolutely ludicrous. And again, goes to show, you know, a lot of the time you're gonna turn around. If he dies, chat's gonna be spamming, Reddit's gonna be going, just see Avova, what an idiot. Why did he think that would work? But when he does it, wins the round. Now, as versus Pistols, it was a ludicrous play, but it's just confidence, man. And this is the thing. When you have a player who feels that kind of confidence, you can't sit back and say, oh, you made the wrong decision, so you died. You got to just do it if you're feeling it. Sometimes you got to take it off of feeling and not logic. And right here, we're seeing that from Avova, who's just gotten rezzed. He's back up in the round.
I'm more worried about this lurk from Mixwell. Magnum seems to have the right idea, though.
Seconds left.
He's definitely heard him. If he can kill off this final man, look at the time. There's only 25 seconds left. Mixwell was the man making the plays in the last round. Now what do the rest of G2 do? They just have to go barreling into this site. The site where Fnatic are slowly swarming in. Magnum looking to do it all on his own as he spams through that smoke. But Avova comes back quickly with 2. He made it believable at least for a second. But it's Magnum to take home the trophy this time. A 4th round on the board for Fnatic. A big round as well, considering he only had a pistol in play. And for the other side of things, okay, it's getting a little bit dicey with economy. Light shields for the majority of players, but it is still a buy.
Front desk, can we get a quick check on Avova? Has he got any USBs plugged in? So he's insane. But
PC, please.
This is not normally.
That's
God.
That's ridiculous, man. He is feeling it right now. Well, that 2 kills at the end made it worth the res, but the round ain't gonna go their way. 2 to go. Fnatic want to equalize up.
I've got your trail.
Want to put the lines between them down to a hair's width, and Boaster a little bit of trouble there. He could have gotten some damage, but the squids provide the cover. And the plant not going to go in all the way, actually. They've had to back out, and here comes the Blade Storm from Durka, in for 1, and up above, deterring any further mid push. What was former... Oh, Magnum, he just got caught with the knife out, but it looks like he's good to go. And Avova isn't anymore. Down to a 2v4, and the advantage sits comfortably with Fnatic, even after that one.
It almost came down to timing. I think it was actually Boaster's grab wells that make all of the difference there. Pulling players off from getting that spike down on B. That execution has been something that G2 have rinsed and repeated a few times, and it does seem once they get into those after plants, it's very difficult to break out of them. Even we've seen them use cosmic divides and have you not to try and get back into that site. It just hasn't worked, so I guess the play was just deny the plant, try and get back in beforehand. 6-5. Definitely not over, that's for sure. Especially with how the pistols have been going. Like, you'd almost expect Fnatic to win the second one at this point.
Yeah, they've been solid on the old pistols for once. I don't know that I'd be gambling on it, though. Wouldn't be rolling the dice if I was G2. You're looking for 7 on the board here and now, and lockdown to play with. Bladestorm pop. Things are looking pretty good on their side. And there we go with a straight out push onto the site, fully blinded. Up, Kellogg's 1 knife left. Oh, Avova's stolen it away. That means the Bladestorm's gone, but he's managed to get a Phantom for his troubles. And with the plant coming in, that's a heavy advantage. Lockdown post plant. Oh, that doesn't look good for Fnatic. But with that kill, if they can up the pace. Never mind. I was going to say they might be able to get there before it's popped, but they won't. Now time is their biggest enemy. Oh, well, that's one way for it to go. Avova has just torn them a new one yet again.
I can see what they were going for. Try and clear the players out and then maybe escape before the lockdown actually goes off, but it's not going to happen this time. G2 go into the half 7-5 up. Now, as said, like 3 pistols, 3 victories for Fnatic so far. It's normally almost their Achilles heel. Like, that was their weakness in a lot of the matches we saw at the Masters, LAN finals as well, but now they're looking pretty good. However, if this was the one that they would lose, this could be problematic because, again, it's safe to say that G2 have looked exceptional so far when it comes to their attack. They get that extra bonus, potentially putting them up to 9, and I don't know, I'd feel a bit foolish to bet against them at that point. Nonetheless, we're going to see what Fnatic can do here.
But just remember, you did bet against them. You picked Fnatic as the team to win. You said you couldn't possibly go against Fnatic. So just reminding you, Tom, that you might be completely wrong.
I will stand by what I said. I'm no coward. I'm not like you. I don't sit on the fence. If you can get up on it, of course.
Oh, wow. Come on. Mixwell getting charged on Kellogg's.
That was a low blow.
Oh, not able to get too much done. And then this is looking like it's going to be Fnatic with the pistol yet again, rolling in it. But Avova's still alive, and he's creeping up behind them. He's got the timing. No one's checking it. Here we go. They come back, and no one looks that way either. Avova. Luckily, he's only able to get away with the 1 kill, leaving Coldamenta down to do it all.
I think he'd have to basically double his kills in this round alone if he was going to take this pistol home. I can't say I'm much of a believer in that, and it will be, again, 4 for 4 now in pistols. Fnatic definitely worked on that department. Unfortunately, it seems that in a lot of the buy rounds, that's where things have been let slip a little bit. Over at the top of the board now. He's taken over from Mixwell in the previous map. 18 and 10, quite far above anyone else. And are we going to see a cheeky investment here? Now, of course, we can easily get baited by the fact that you can sell your guns back if you change your mind. But it does look like G2 are willing to take a risk. They've got investment into Sheriffs. A Spectre in play at the moment.
They're going for it. Yeah, if they manage to actually win this round, they will crush Fnatic. That puts them in such a bad spot mentally. And look at this. Fnatic are going straight towards the stacked side. 4 players here over on the G2 side. And Nuki is the first to ring out True and take down Durka. But alarm bells are ringing. It looks like Fnatic have realized there's way too many shots on that C side and they're moving elsewhere. Magnum going to play a lurk role in this round as the A side's going to be hit. But this is dangerous. These pistols really thrive when they catch you in an individual fight, and as Magnum comes up behind, it looks like he'll get the timing and get the free kill, but the trade is there immediately. Evolva looking too clean with that Sheriff in play. The man advantage sits in G2's favor even still, and now Evolva's got a weapon to play with, and you do not want to face him when that's the case.
Turret out.
Cover going out.
The push. About to come back in. An advantage available. Doma quickly diminishes it down. In fact, he's got Boaster alongside him. It's left to Mixwell. Tanked a little bit, but 2 players to find and not a lot of time to do it. Retrieves the Spectre at least and might be able to isolate the duel, but the swing was there anyway for Mystic. It's close with the force buy, but more importantly for Fnatic, they convert it. And now the likelihood is we're not going to see much invested at all.
Yeah, you wouldn't imagine that you will. 7-7 at this point, G2. As you said, they've got the Sheriffs. Lack of investment, lack of cash. The gamble was worth it. They got some pretty good leg work done on it, but a hero play on this site. You notice how tight-knit Fnatic is right now? Look at the kill distribution. 12, 12, 11, 11, 10. It's nice. It's always good. But G2, 2 maps in a row now. They've had Mixwell, they've had Evolva having the games of their lives. With the Sheriffs in hand, you still don't want to discredit them.
That is for sure. They are looking like they're about to push into Mixwell's setup. Now, it seems like if he's going to be playing B for the rest of this half, it almost looks like what we see from Yumpy. I just wonder if he will be the one manning that operator if that is the case. Still gives the freedom to Kellogg's to do the work on Jet. Already, we're going to see that diffuse tap, but they're quickly burning, not only from the bullets, but from the flames placed down, making things a real struggle. The spam of pretty much every single one of these players is going to make things tough. Still, players being lost at least. Another kill for Durka, though, puts this one almost indefinitely to Fnatic, but they are making things incredibly costly.
8-7. As you said, yeah, the money is getting strained a little bit because of all that damage being done. And I think at this point, if you're Fnatic, you lose this round, and yet again, G2 get that mental victory, even though they'll tie it up. The fact that they're fighting so much for it, and the fact that the ultimates are coming pretty close to being online, although actually I glance down and I see Lockdown and Seekers online for G2, but at the same time, there's a bunch about to come in for Fnatic as well. This ult orb's going to be a point of contention at the start of the round. And the smoke up top stops Evolva from harassing, but he still gets one done. That's literally meant to stop him doing that, and he still gets one from around the edge. The flash is good, but the backside, oh! It wasn't checked for a second, but Doma still walks away with 1 and info. That's pretty huge at this point. They haven't committed to the site, though.
Yeah, we've actually seen the Seekers thrown out, so that will at least gain a little bit of extra info. So will the Tiger as it stuns up Magnum, and Evolva's got another one to add to his tally. A spray down of 4 now, leaving just Mystic alive, and sure, it will be stolen away by Nuki, but what is going on? What has happened in the G2 camp that just like one map, it's like, go on, Mixwell, this one's yours. The next map, Evolva, just takes over complete control. Like, just look at the rest of the server. The next highest is Doma on 15.
And let's look even past the kills. Let's look at the money yet again. Fnatic, they're going to get a buy up, but it's not a very comfortable one. Now, with the Blade Storm, they can afford to have a weapon dropped over by Durka potentially, although it looks like they're still going to play with the majority Spectres, or at least 2 Spectres and 2 Phantoms. Not the best by any means. And to be fighting for essentially double digits, right? Because if they lose this, they're eco, and then G2 hit that 10 to 8 scoreline. This is not where you want to be, Tom. Pressure is on, and Fnatic haven't felt this kind of pressure in EU for a long time. Like, there was that one hiccup versus Liquid, and with the exception of that, I don't recall an EU team challenging them like this since FPX a long time ago.
Since it was a different team, basically. Durka, we know what this man can do, but he's just getting denied by all of that Killjoy utility. Forced to fall back, but is that just bait? I don't know if they actually spotted Doma there. The Tiger goes through. The defender Killjoy ult, but so does Doma. He's going to push through the edge and actually wins that battle versus Coldamenta. One comes up for free, and now Avova being a little bit sneaky. Nuki, though, he gets 2.
That's huge. That's the spike dropped. They're just rotating in to hold his position.
Detained.
He even wants to go in there. There was a player detained close, but he doesn't jump through the garage, not taking absolutely any risks at this point. Just waiting for them to come to him, and although he'll fall in the end, he's put his team in a damn good position to win this. A 3K from Nukier, and a 1 versus 2 Magnum, though. He's up against an operator. Look how low Kellogg's is. That wallbang very nearly takes him out, and with the spike retrieved, he's going to the site. 10 seconds left. The plant will be hard to come by, but if he can tuck it away, he might just get it, and indeed he will. Kellogg's on 10 health, very conscious of over-peeking into any sort of angle. Even a wallbang will take him down. Look at the patience. But while he waits and hopes that Magnum overpeaks, Magnum's got himself tucked away all the way down on C long. He'll wait for the sound cue and swing, and it seems next to impossible that he loses this. Kellogg's will have to be so quick in hitting this shot. He knows now that player is on long, and he's actually going to try and defuse it with such low HP? No way. Another cloudburst down, and he's... No! That was so close! On 10 health? If he had 50, he would have won it.
I don't know where they found this guy from, but the confidence to go for that. Absolute madness. So the fact that that was actually close at all, surprising to say the least. And as said in the last map, I've really enjoyed this from G2. Happy to take the timeouts when, realistically, it's not like it's out of their control. It's not like these rounds have just been slipping away. They just feel like, okay, we need a moment to adapt. We need to take a second to put ourselves back in the driver's seat again.
I think I've seen G2 as a brand, let's say, go months without calling a timeout back in the good old days. So the fact that we're seeing them so proactively definitely makes me happy. And they're doing a lot of things that I feel like a lot of teams do wrong, or don't do properly. Timeouts have been solid. Their buys have been very good. They have slow rounds. They're selling a lot of fakes. Bind was chaotic to play against, I can imagine. And I hope Sue maybe does an interview with Boaster afterwards, regardless of the conclusion here, because I'd love to hear from Fnatic's perspective how it is playing against this team, because from my perspective, at least, it looks very difficult. This is very surprising for such a short period of time, because they really haven't had that long to prepare. And yet they look like they've been together a long, long time.
Already, we're going to see what looks like an almost bare bones eco coming out from G2. Coldamenta, I think, had absolutely nothing there. Just going for the ultimate orb a little bit early, trying to earn those secrets. Fnatic, this is a chance to not only get themselves a second round ahead, more importantly, earn some ult orb and get Fnatic for economy. And you know what? They're doing just that.
Oh, yes, they are. When you're G2, you don't expect literally anything. Not even one kill in a round like this. You've got classics. You're ludicrous if you think you're getting away with something. It's important here that Magnum is staying so close to his tripwire, because when you're playing against a Jet and an Omen, they can obviously get by those with their Shadow Step, with their updraft. And you want to be able to hear the sound cue So Magnum sticking close means that that flank is secured, as secure as can be. And it's a mistake that I think you'll see in like matchmaking and even some teams where they will kind of forget that some people can. They won't forget. They know that they can go past them, but in the moment they don't think of it so proactively.
Question here is Avova looking to actually hold on to this Spectre? I would assume no. So it's just going to try and be some extra pieces of damage, but they get absolutely nothing. A perfect anti-eco from Fnatic. Conversion round to give them an extra into the lead. And we need to see the response. There was a save for a reason. That's because G2 wanted to make sure they had everything here. Although, I will say, there's still a piece or two missing. No shields available for Kellogg's going into this one. They do have a couple of ults, one being the res, which we know how much impact that can have. But at 10-8, Fnatic, every single member currently built up outside this A site. Are we about to see a pace change?
It looks like we are. They're barreling in here. Mixwell under pressure, caught falling back. And it looks like the response from G2 is instantly to fight for short. They're grouped up as two, but they lose the first. And Coldamenta manages to trade it out. He takes Magnum, destroys the ult of Phoenix, then destroys Phoenix. And this is now doable for G2. They have a flank on Sage. Sage needs to survive here to get the res in, but it doesn't look like she will. Boaster is waiting for it this whole time. No, Sage just managed to sneak down onto short. How has this happened? Nukia's there, getting the kill, walling up, and popping a res. It's a 2v1. Boaster's behind, but Nukia suspects it at this point, imagining a player will have fallen. Oh, Mixwell. Oh, Mixwell. Oh, that was almost an NA play there. And now you're in trouble, Boaster. There's the first. A fight versus Nukia, not an easy 1v1 to win by any stretch of the imagination. And Nukia shows you exactly why. A gorgeous round from Nukia on that flank. And 10-9 we go. G2 are not giving up yet. They're still in the fight.
Yeah, this is not a man I necessarily thought I'd expect to see on a Sage, especially with him being one of the kings of the duelist when it came to at least the previous roster he was on. I have to say this round as well was such a mess in terms of the battles we saw. One of them was Durka hiding in the smoke, catching Avova while shadow stepping. It dashes out into an operator that was hiding in the corner the whole time. Like, must have been confusing for both teams, but for G2, most important thing is coming out on top. Again, we see the power of the paranoia, denying them the early space. And we're going to actually get Hunter's Fury to try and kill him off. It's not happened, though.
It's not worked this time around, and so now you kind of stall out a little bit. They wanted the opening, at least the damage is connected, but at this point, G2 have rotated pretty heavily. There's 4 players either on or very close to C. I think Fnatic realized that they've missed their window in getting in, but that right there is an opportunity. Kellogg's taken down, the Squid's on their way, and Boaster can't really do much to destroy them, so they get the information of the closest. Whoa, that was a running headshot! He actually connected it onto Coldamenta, who is now super low on HP. That was massive. He got healed up by Sage, but that... I mean, if that's a Vandal, he's getting a kill there. Although, running and gunning with a Vandal ain't quite as easy as with a Phantom.
Yeah, the problem is slightly weaker weaponry for Mixwell, and that headshot doesn't actually garner a kill. It leaves them into a 4 versus 3. Fnatic in the driver's seat once again. After plants available, but Avova, he's already picked off one, and as they peek, the flash will blind another. Still, it's left all onto Nuki. We know what he could do in these scenarios, but he can't close out Durka this time. Fnatic edge ever closer, just 2 rounds away from taking us to that 3rd and final map, which I believe will be Icebox. And you know what? With the current finances available for G2, I'd be surprised if they don't.
Let's keep an eye on it. See where they decide to take this one. At 11-9 down, your options are pretty limited. And yeah, just going for a couple of pistols. They're fighting for OT. 3 consecutive rounds is definitely doable. But not very oh my god, Kellogg's.
What just happened?
They recover that fumble, but I don't... How did he hit 2 shots that quickly? Oh no! Oh no! In the corner, Mixwell's got 2! It's all down to Mystic. Shock Dart is good for damage, but not a kill. Another on its way, but I think it will meet the same fate. In fact, completely avoided. Plenty of time on the clock, but Mystic doesn't know where this other player is. And indeed, Evolva's tucked in, watching for the push-up. The second he gets contact, that's when Mixwell swings. But Mystic realizes something's up. That player isn't just hiding in the corner for no reason. He's on his way to second mid to see what's going on. Evolva's ready, though. Flicking over just in time. And 10 on the board in the most unlikely of rounds. Again, how? Like, great positioning from Mixwell. Good positioning from Evolva. What was that from Kellogg's? How did he hit those shots, Tom?
I feel like that's one that I could probably see the replay multiple times, and I still don't think I'll understand ever what he did. But yeah, a ridiculous round to pull off. Again, apologies to Fnatic. I was like, yeah, driver's seat. Never mind, cast the curse. Yep. I'm starting to believe that it exists, but... Oh my.
At TomBiz on Twitter, go and give out to him. He's the one that cursed you, not me. I didn't do the curse. People tagging me in chat saying cast the curse. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I didn't open my mouth. TomBiz. Doma rushing in here. Oh, he's been spotted, but Doma's seen him too. And with the ult, you're happy to take that fight, even though you know you'll get traded, sort of. The ult is taken down, but the man advantage remains for a moment. Kellogg's has spidey senses on that one. I don't even think he expected him to be there, more so just a very quick reaction.
Oh, nonetheless, it ends in a 4 versus 4 scenario. Lockdown available if a retake were to ensue, but again, Magnum, he's just so good at finding space. It seems like there's a rotation coming back in, and the cage will definitely give that information over to G2 that there's at least somebody here. 40 seconds left, and they're not necessarily committed. He'll be communicating that, okay, there's nobody really rotating in just yet, but you can see Nuki starting to prod and poke as Kellogg starts to push down mid. He's going to walk straight into Durka, a freebie as such, but the trades have come in elsewhere, leaving this B site open for Fnatic to get the plant.
Oh, or so you would think. Mixwell quickly pouncing onto Durka. And Evolva's on the flank. Oh, he's moving around. This plant isn't going to be for him, though. He can't deny it, but he can get pretty close to them and catch Mystic afterwards, potentially. Mystic wisely going into the corner, and Evolva's just going to wait for Nuke. Oh, he jumped. I don't think he meant to jump, but he did. And Mystic's heard it. Mystic knows that Evolva's here. I'm not quite sure why he did that. And now on the way through, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Nuke wants to try and help this one out, but Evolva wins the fight anyway. Smoke's going to go down, and Doma on the way gets spotted by Nuke. It's 11-11 on the second map, with G2 pretty much positioned to take the lead at this point. And Tom, I'm processing it as much as I'm saying it. Fnatic might be in the lower bracket at this stage. What's going on?
Let's be real. Let's be real at this point. Okay, yeah, Fnatic in terms of their stature, it would be more surprising. But we've already said it once. If you're in the other team in the lower bracket, who the hell would you even want to face at this point? Like, I don't want to face either of these teams. What's the point? Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, you've got so many star players. You've got people putting in unbelievable performances, and not even necessarily on the agents you'd expect. Like, we've got an Omen top fragging in this game and a Viper in the last. Okay, yeah, Viper fanboy Mitch, man, we look free get. But no, realistically, like, it's not necessarily the man you go to. I don't know what to expect from G2. So if they were to go into that lower bracket, I'd be terrified if I'm one of the other teams.
Oh, definitely. Look at this position from G2. They're playing full retake on A because they have lockdown to play with. They also have a res. So, I mean, retaking A is perfect. And they're going to get a Cosmic Divide out of it. Now, they know at this point, you're not really looking to contest the site. I would be very surprised if Nuke faces from... I suppose you can hold it. But when you're up against a Phoenix, holding a Cosmic Divide is suicide. Half of the time! Durka just goes running into that. He's got into heaven. He's 30 HP! He's just running at it with a classic now. Nuke takes him down. That's the advantage they want. And the Killjoy ultimate is going to push everybody else back. Big advantage to play with for G2 now. But Fnatic, they're on their way to C. And it looks like G2 are aware of that.
Yeah, the way that round was looking, you'd almost expect there to have been a plant. It looked like a retake, but it turns out Well, they were retaken
30
against
seconds
nothing.
left.
They've held onto the site, but the realization has come in that, okay, they're now going to plant on the other side, and well, they don't have that lockdown anymore. They can't force them back. Instead, they'll go pushing through. Coldamenta, he's already going to manage one, but the pistol of Boaster, he's doing so much work with this frenzy. He's even going back for more, and he's going to get his third kill of the round. A dink onto Nuki gives a good opportunity. Now the res is about to be used, but Mystic catches the timing. And now it's left into the 1 versus 1. Mixwell is going to use the turret, but it's actually been dodged, just about avoided, and Mixwell will hold on. A thrifty round, if anything, coming out from Fnatic. The pistols doing the majority of the work, and now they get their 12th. Oh, my throat's going to be so screwed tomorrow, Mitch. I'm done.
We have another series after this, Tom. We got a map 3 here. I think
That
we're gonna
is
need.
true.
We're gonna need some sort of medical grade tea. So that round, another one that we could very easily go back on and spend another 10 minutes talking about. But the key points for me, the A site, Fnatic go on the site. They fake plant once, then they send Durka through the Cosmic Divide into Heaven with the Blade Storm. Obviously, they want the kills. What they really want, though, because the plant was cancelled, I believe, before the lockdown came into effect, they wanted that lockdown to be used. They were beckoning them in. As soon as it is popped, the rotation is on the way from Fnatic, who clearly already had the plan to go back to the C site. They get there. At that point, they should have still lost the round, because G2 made the correct decision. They had the man advantage, they had a res, and they were already on C waiting for them. And yet, Boaster's Frenzy, it not only got 2 kills, but it damaged, I think, a Vova down to like 10 HP.
I think he got 3 kills.
3 kills and the damage. It's obscene.
There's a nuts around from Boaster. As I said before, he's not just the brain, he's got the brawn. Got the dance moves, but that's a completely different thing. That doesn't really affect too much of the gameplay. 12 to 11. I almost think that this map deserves an overtime. I'm almost beckoning it in, even though it will completely wreck me. I don't think I mind at this point. A third map also possible, with Fnatic down 1 and Icebox being the decider if we get there. Once again, they heard the turret. It's been spotted out. And already, Durka looking to try and make his move, get that entry. We know he can find normally, but Nuki is already going to take him down.
The plan to come in. The man disadvantage, the res, the Seekers, the Blade Storm. So much to work with for G2, and it's all going to be used here. Can't take it with you into overtime. The run it back is what concerns me the most. Using it at this point is very risky. They don't have enough map control to really do so, and now they've popped it. Magnum needs to hold on to control, or else they're going to be in trouble, because as he comes back through, Kellogg's just going to take him down. But what is that? Magnum manages to clock himself a 3K. It won't be enough, but that was with a Spectre up close, and they're all peeking him. That was insane. If he had an actual rifle, that was a Phantom, I think he wins it.
Who knows? Who knows? But either way, Mitch, we've ended up in overtime. We've got there in the end. This map is going the distance. Again, going into today, we looked as Fnatic as the favorites in this matchup. And G2 are taking them all the way. Now it comes down to us, the Stones. And as said, if Fnatic lose this map, they head into the lower bracket. Now, sure, chances are, I think from what we've seen, either team will still make it to the event, but we know how important seeding can be. We've seen it before, we'll see it again. We also know that the competition's not going to get easier for either of these two teams, but in the here and now, we're looking at the buys, and Durka, going for that operator.
Not a surprise, really. The operator in his hands is a dangerous thing, but in overtime it comes with its risks. He can afford to get himself some cloud bursts at least, but not able to go for the armor alongside it. There's the shot. Still has dash online, and he's missed his dash. 1 HP on the way back to site, but he's able to post up. His elbow spotted as he moves back to long. They know exactly where he is. The updraft from Kellogg's, the dash back just about keeps him alive. Durk is still good for another, and with Mystic answering up, it looks like this round is going to Fnatic. A 1-round advantage and 1 more needed to take us to Icebox.
Switching sides.
Like, the fact he gets another kill must be so infuriating for whoever hit him. Coldamenta, well, I'm sure he's just made Mitch a very happy man. That's something we haven't really seen too far. And actually, we're going to get another tactical timeout. This time, it's going to be for the attackers, I believe. That will be Fnatic. So clearly feeling that, okay, get this round. Obviously, we go to map 3. Worth the investment of this pause to try and talk through a strategy. At the same time, though, it gives the opponents the same opportunity. It might just give them that moment to come up with something spicy on the defense. I think it is funny if you're not the one calling that pause, that you just almost get frozen in time. Just have to watch on, unable to move.
One thing that's worth mentioning, obviously we've had both pistols go to Fnatic, all 4 pistols, in fact, in this series, and they are holding on by a thread. But I would also say that on the attack side, G2 have been very good when it came to the buy rounds. And the fact that they've now lost that puts them in a bit of a shaky spot, albeit their defense has been solid as well. When you look at the end of the half, in the last 6 rounds, they won 4 of them. And the ones that Fnatic were winning were where they had pistols somehow. So, or weaker rounds at least. This is you always had the conversation about Haven being kind of a 50-50 map in terms of attack defense, but in this series I think it is insanely 50-50. Cultman is playing this on the A side.
Yeah. I thought he'd be garage, right? Double doors, nice little spam. We've seen that done since the beginning of time. What's the plan here, Codiment? And I'm not going to doubt him. I'm definitely not. I'm just curious what he's going to be doing in this round. Now, we've seen the wall expended. At least the majority of it will be destroyed. Utility placed for Mixwell into that B site as well. A clinical round, of course. As said, a victory here can be enough to take Fnatic to that 3rd and final map. Another safe haven for them in the form of Icebox, one they've been playing pretty much since it was released, an early adapter to that, and when they were in Summon. Kellogg's a good spot, though, and the man alongside him, well, we saw what he did in the first map.
Oh, wow. You're seeing what he does in the start of this round as well. Cole Dementa even gets that kill with the Odin. He's playing under heaven, long-range dueling with an Odin. What is going on? This is not how you play Valorant. Kellogg's has got another, and Fnatic are on it. Look at this. He's just taking duels with it. What? Out he goes with the wolf, baiting for his team as they swing to get the kills. He won that duel because I saw him on the map, and I'm thinking, like, what am I missing? What am I missing here? And he's like, no, he's just stood there chilling, crouched with an Odin, like, yeah, screw your Vandal, screw your Phantom. I'm bringing a new gun to the debate.
You know what? It's only not meta until he makes it the meta. So there you go.
There you go.
Coldamenta, he's developing new things on his own. He's calling a good game. He's going to show you how the Odin's up. Well, not in this round, at least. Attack. If he was doing that on the attack, I would think he's gone mad. But you know what? On the defense, I can see how it works. Now, Durka, we saw what he did in the previous round. He's going to go for this aggressive play. In fact, it is identical. Exactly the same spot. This time, G2 are having none of it. Dark cover placed on his head.
Got flash over at the start to get them out too, but he just goes through it. Why? How does he get away with that? Ridiculous. The fact that he has just gotten a kill by walking through. They literally planned to deal with that operator, and they didn't think that Durka was the absolute madman that he is. The man advantage sits with Fnatic, and G2 are left scrambling. A control is no longer an option, I think it's fair to say, and as they come out onto this site, the camera will spot them just about the tips of their head. It's too late, you would think, but Magnum still gets away with a kill. Here comes Kellogg's to finish him off, but Magnum has none of it. And now it leaves Nukier all alone, desperately trying to recover a 1v4. His chances, well, the next to none. Oh, he's rolled himself in. Fantastic. And the shock dart to finish him. That was... Nuki wants to forget the end of that game. That's for sure.
If I can't see them, they can't see me. If I can't see them, they can't see me. Just lock himself in the corner. He's created a bunker.
This is my safe space.
But... yeah, please don't enter my safe space. I do not want to be contacted right now. He's done it again, by the way. Odin's back out. This is going to be the A-site defense for now. I don't know. I respect it. You got to be bold to break the norm. Other than that, everything else fairly standard and odd. Vandal in there in the mix. Nuki not bending to the trends, that's for sure. But this is the man we're watching. He's been making plays over the last few rounds. Their last attack was a run down mid. What's going to be the play for Durka this time?
Well, this time they're going to be focusing on Nuki after breaking that wall. A little bit of a tickle up going in the early round, and Nuki is out of there. And I'll say for G2, they've got a lot of control on A. The surprising thing being, it's the Odin that's in the corner on A long. He's actually peeking A long with an Odin. I don't know why, but Nuki is peeking C long, and he's gone out of here and dealt with very quickly. Fnatic now have a bit of like, what is this? I guess back in the day, people used to never play Jet. They used to play Raze with the operators. So maybe this is like, someday we'll be like, I remember we used to buy Phantoms and Vandals, but now it's all about the Odin.
Risk taken by Kellogg's, trying to peek through the blaze to find out what's on the other side. I'm also wary the position of Magnum. Like, he's being a bit sneaky through the C side. With players rotating, he could be the bane of their lives once again. Mixwell, he's just going to allow that. Okay, you know I'm here, but what are you going to do about it? How are you going to clear me off? And Avova again, he's reading the situation correctly, not allowing for that swing, but he's going to be pressured. Even pre-fires onto Boaster. The instant headshot, and the time ticks away. Avova is having a phenomenal map as he pulls off almost a solo site defense to start. 3 kills, 14-14. It keeps on rolling.
That puts him above 30 kills, or on 30 on the nose. 14-14, and it wouldn't be this way if it wasn't for Avova's performance so far. He has had such an insane game coming off the back of Mixwell's energy over on Bind. And this overtime, it's just not going anywhere. We've got at least 2 more rounds. And taking a look at the defense for Fnatic so far, there's been a lot of comfort for them. They've been finding a lot of success here. It feels like it's the first team to break that defense is going to be walking away with it. I mean, a lot of it is just being Durka. And again, he's going to be pushing A, but this time it's through short where he's posted up. By the looks of things, though, G2 want absolutely nothing to do with the A side. In fact, they're already planting on B.
Yeah, this is the same execution we've seen from them a multitude of times, but there's so much utility. This is how they countered it before. Boaster putting out the stun, holding them back, and they've killed off the planter. Now, Coldamenta, I said he'd be mad to pull this out on the attack, but he's looking to try and spam through those smokes. This is the plan all along. Deny them getting that defusal.
Tom, he dashed into the drone. He's actually died because of a drone, essentially. Anyways, we'll talk about it after. It's a 3v3, and the Odin, here it comes! Go. Double kill from Coldamenta, and Mystic Soul alone with 5 HP. Can it be the 3k for the Odin? It doesn't really matter, because it is the round. G2 have claimed the attacking side, even despite a bit of an awkward opening, having given away. Now listen, so this is, Kellogg's went on site, obviously knowing they're going to have like a molly for me, or they're going to have shock darts or something. And the idea is I'll plant and I'll dash off site. And I was wondering why he stopped, because he dashed and it just froze. And I watched it back on the stream, and I'm 90% certain he got caught on the drone, which is just ridiculous. What a way to die. Oh, the Odin.
Oh my god.
Let's go. Coldamenta. I said I loved him because of the battalion days, but now I've got more than one reason.
I said I'd call him a madman if he did it on the attack. Well, he did, and he made it work with a very well set plan. And now they have the chance to finish this. Mixwell, he's gonna peek through, and that could be it. A quick double to open up this round. He's been a bit quieter on this map, that's for sure, but those 2 kills could make the difference. He will eventually be traded out, though. Boaster has found one back in response. The heals will come through for Kellogg to give him a little bit extra in this fight. After plant looking inevitable, but they're playing patient. They're waiting. The spike yet to go down.
And here comes big green gun. Not quite in the Counter-Strike meaning, but instead it's the Odin. He's not shooting toy bullets, though. The flash about to come around the corner. His team primed to rush out onto the site. The shock darts to delay them. And here we go! Coldamenta taken down, but Kellogg answers back. Mystic trying to hold on to control. We'll get another now dancing around the back of the site, but Nukia is too quick. That is it. 16-14 with the defuse. G2 are absolutely dominating Fnatic 2-0 in this series. They're back for their crown.
Defenders win.